That's the story of their life.
Phil eating a liquid cake. He been on a liquid diet. I said, you got a liquid cake.
Phil, are you on a diet again?
Happy birthday.
Are you on a diet again?
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
So which version do we like?
I don't think we're gonna die.
Ms. Harris, you ready on the walk-in?
One of them for sure. The other one I'll stick with.
We got two walking? Yeah. Oh, I see it. I didn't separate it. I did not separate that up.
I got it, thanks.
Okay.
And the agents.
Frank Warrior,
Yes, sir.
on the list, number 3, Kenyatta Wesley was discharged on a 7-12 mandate, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. Okay, which walk-in is ready? Good afternoon, sir. How are you? Okay, so what is your name for the record, please? Thank you. This will be case 25-045-253, State of Michigan versus Jamal Lamar McCollins, counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Ms. Coyle.
Good
Christina
afternoon,
Harris. Christina Harris, P 52857, on behalf of Jamal Lamar McCollins, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. McCollins has been advised of and understands his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of any prior OWIs or anything subsequent to this. Although serious, there was a one-car crash in which he struck his car into an MDOT aero board. His breathalyzer showed a 13 and an 18. But for those reasons, the people would have no objection to a $10,000 personal bond, no alcohol during the pendency of this matter, and no driving without a valid driver's license.
Thank you.
In response, Your Honor, we have no objection to the recommendation made of the $10,000 personal bond. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear? Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is June 26th for a pretrial in front of Judge Jones here in 36th District Court. If you have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I thought the part about the motion. Cross out the part on this file like the last one. Oh, what's this? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Did you cross it out?
No, I didn't.
Thank you.
Ms. Harris, let your client know also, no driving without a valid license.
Okay, I was so.
All right.
He wasn't just stepping outside because I asked him to step outside so I could talk.
Okay, yep. Okay, DDC, I think we can get started with you. I do have one more walk-in, but they're not ready yet.
Straight down the list.
Yep, sounds good to me. Oh, Bates, can you get defense counsel to Zoom in? Or however they want to do it.
Step on the black line. Face the camera. Say your full name. Rodney Foster.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Foster, we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't hear you. Sometimes the mics over there aren't the best, so it's not your fault. First ticket is P 1349829 with charges of driver's license never required, driving unregistered vehicle, and no insurance misdemeanor. Next ticket is U 385-10617, offer to engage services of another for an act of prostitution. Ticket U 571-27120. It's like possession of drug paraphernalia. U 593-60221, violation of the Controlled Substances Act. 400376. No operator's license on person, insurance never required, and unregistered motor vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date for these matters will be a pre-trial June 30th in front of Judge Williams here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is case 18045-585, State of Michigan versus Rodney Foster, counsel.
Good afternoon, Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris on behalf of Rodney Foster, who stands mute, waits upon the reading of the complaint. And Mr. Foster has been advised of and understands statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There is a $500 10% capias in the file entered in 2021 as to bond.
Your Honor, this is a matter that dates back to 2018, and he has not appeared in court. The people would recommend leave the bond as it is, and no contact with Home Depot.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have no objection to no contact with Home Depot. Mr. Foster finds the $500 10% to be unaffordable because of his financial situation in the state of Michigan. We're asking for it.
Thank you. Is it just the one capias?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is all I see as well.
It's 11/29. Thank you.
Mr. Foster, we're going to give you one more chance at this. While this case is pending, no contact with any Home Depot. Court will set bond at $1,000 personal. And next court date is June 26th for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Show up to court, sir, and get us out of your life, all right?
Thank you.
Have a good day. We ready on the second walking?
Yes, please.
All right, Mr. Ritchie. And your name for the record, please.
William John Ritchie.
Thank you. This will be case 25-045296, State of Michigan versus William Deshaun Ritchie, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Steve Benson for the people.
Good afternoon, Mr. Benson. For the record, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of William Deshaun Ritchie, who stands mute, waits a formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. Ritchie has been advised of and understands his statutory constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, this defendant has a number of prior convictions, albeit none of them related to alcohol. I do believe he does have a couple convictions for controlled substance. However, He's being charged with the high BACOWI. It is an incident that, occurred within the last about 3.5 months or so. One car crash on Southfield Freeway. 2.5 hours after the accident, the intoxilizer results come back as a 0.209 and a 0.21. We're not going to be objecting to a personal. Magistrate, we are going to be asking for an alcohol tether. We do appreciate the defendant walked himself in today. Although with that being said, we do find this to be a dangerous situation, but he's not a flight risk.
Thank you.
In response, Your Honor,
Mhm.
Mr. Ritchie walked in.
Mhm.
If one wanted to take responsibility of the situation in these circumstances.
Yeah.
Like resident of the area, he has his mother here with him in court who is supportive of him. And he lives with his mother. He works as a painter. And I'm concerned about a tether with respect to working as a painter. Sometimes you have to have on protective clothing and protective boots or shoes. And sometimes people are not able to work in their jobs, which require manual labor with tether. So for that reason, we're asking for no tether. Mr. Ritchie will give us assurance that he will return for all future court hearing dates. And during the pendency of this matter, he will not drink or consume any alcohol.
So the alleged blood alcohol here was in excess of 0.2. And I believe state indicated that was a couple hours after the accident. It means it was higher than that at the time. And so what we'll do is this, sir, while this case is pending, you're not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear? No driving without a valid license. And I am going to have you report and get a alcohol tether within 48 hours. Ms. Harris can tell you where you need to go to do that.
I will.
And bond will be set at 5,000 personal. Next court date will be June 26th for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Am I missing something? I don't think so. I think that's everything. All right, if you have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen in DDC, what's your name, please? Thank you. And this will be case 25-058-182, State of Michigan versus Amir Julius Murphy, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Benson for the people.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris on behalf of Mr. Amir Murphy, who stands here with the formal reading of the complaint. Mr. Murphy has been advised of and understands his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. That's the bond.
Magistrate, I don't have any priors regarding Mr. Murphy. It is being, it's serious, but it's non-assaultive, 1 count of CCW, not objecting to a personal at this time.
No objection to the recommendation made.
Thank you, sir. While this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun at any time. Is that clear to you? All right, court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date is June 23rd, probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins. June 30th, preliminary exam in front of Judge Taylor, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you.
Wait, next man. Come on, bro. You with me? Everybody on the black line, I think you pull that. Black line right there. Face the camera. Say your full name.
Darby Dante Green Jr.
Thanks. Mr. Green, we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, first ticket is P 1156174 with a charge of driver's license never acquired. P 1260891, driving while license suspended. P 1468974, driving while license suspended. And 727465, driver's license never acquired, and uninsured motor vehicle. These are misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I want to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial in front of Judge Perkins on July 1st here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25058-180. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was asking, was that in court?
No, that'll be Zoom. Yeah. All right. So your other case is 25058-180, State of Michigan versus Darvin Dante Green Jr. Counsel.
Steve Vincent for the people, P 71917.
Christina Harris on behalf of Darvin Dante Green Jr., who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. Green has been advised that he understands the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, I do have a substantial past on this individual. However, this is non-assaultive in nature. I would be asking, I'm not going to object to the person. I would be asking for a no contact with the complainant. I would also be asking for a no contact with the place of the offense.
No objection to that recommendation, Your Honor.
Okay, while this case is pending, no contact with the complaining witness and no contact with the COIL address. Bond will be set at 5,000 personal. Next court date will be June 26th, probable cause conference, July 3rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you.
Next plan. Right line, face the camera, say your full.
Tyrell Elijah Griffin Herndon.
Thank you, sir. Be right with you. 1 minute. Mr. Herndon, we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights? All right, this first ticket is P 1630208 with a charge of driving while license suspended. And P 1705149, driving while license suspended, no insurance misdemeanor, and driving unregistered vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial, July 1st in front of Judge Millhouse here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-058-181. State of Michigan versus Terrell Elijah Herndon, counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris, on behalf of Tyrell Herndon, who stands mute, waives formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. Herndon has been advised of and understands the statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of a criminal history for Mr. Herndon. This is non-assaultive. No objection to a 2,000 personal bond.
No objection to the recommendation made.
Sir, while this case is pending, you're not to possess a gun at any time. Is that clear? All right. Court will set bond at 2,000 personal. Next court date is June 23rd. Probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins, June 30th. Preliminary exam in front of Judge Giles, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Face the camera, say your full name.
Dave Jonathan Perez.
Thank you, sir. We're going to start with a traffic ticket where you missed the court date. When you missed that date, well, it's not exactly a traffic ticket, but when you missed the date, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. This will be ticket P 1434406 with a charge of loitering. It's a misdemeanor charge. Maximum penalty you face is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant. Enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. And the next court is a pre-trial June 30th in front of Judge Ramsey Heath here in 36th District Court. Your other matter is 25-058-183, State of Michigan versus Dave Jonathan Perez, counsel.
Thank you, Magistrate. Steve Vincent for the people.
Christina Harris, on behalf of Dave Perez, who stands mute, and Mr. Perez has been advised of and understands the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond, please.
Magistrate, we're asking for a $250,000 cash surety bond. If the defendant were to ever post that, we're going to be asking for a tether as well as home confinement. He's being charged with 4 15-year felonies. As you can see, the reckless driving, causing death, operating a vehicle while causing death, while his license is suspended, the fleeing first degree, and failure to stop after he caused a death. He was attempting to flee from police officers. And he ended up, from the way I read it, ended up crashing into the police officer's vehicle before continuing to flee, only to hit a pedestrian on Michigan Avenue. And I had to double check this just to make sure I wasn't seeing things. He was going so fast when he struck that individual was thrown over 190 feet. And that individual ended up dying. And while he's fleeing from the police, while he's striking pedestrians on the roadway, he's on bond with a tether. I have it out of Jackson Circuit for home invasion as well as domestic violence charges. I believe there's a witness, if not multiple witnesses to this incident. It's also my understanding that it was caught on green light video. This defendant is a clear and present danger to the community. Unfortunately, what he allegedly did took one of those members out of commission permanently from the community. So respectfully, we're asking for that high cash bond with monitorization and home confinement.
Thank you.
The allegations, Mr. Perez is innocent unless proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Works on a full-time basis at a PACI facility. He works 12 hours a day, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. He is a life resident of the city. He lives with his family and his mother, father, and his 3 siblings. understands the importance and the severity of these charges, he will appear for every court hearing day. And for that reason, we're asking for a 10% bond wherein he can return to work while this matter is pending. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And apparently this was caught on video. Is that right,
Green light.
Mr. Vincent?
Yeah, magistrate, I see it as the entire incident being captured on the incident related to the striking of the pedestrian on green light video.
Thank you. Court does find Mr. Perez to be a danger to the community at large. Sir, while this case is pending, should you post a bond, you'll have a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. No driving, regardless of the status of your driver's license. Bond will be set at $250,000 cash or surety.
What was that amount, please? And thank Your Honor, please.
$250,000.
Thank you.
You will have a bond redetermination hearing in 2 days on June 18 from Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are probable cause conference, June 25, preliminary exam, July 1. Both of those are in front of Judge Takei here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, magistrate.
Yep. Mr. Clements, how are you today?
Pretty good, Judge. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Doing pretty good. Who do you have?
Javante Hill. Want to see if he made the list.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Okay. And what about Darvin Green?
We just did him 5,000 personal.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good one. And a gentleman at DDC, what's your name, please?
Joe, Hayes Link.
Thanks. And this case 25-058-186, State of Michigan versus Demario Kenneth Hayes Links, counsel.
The Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris on behalf of Demario Hayes Link, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. Hayes Link has been advised of and understands the statutory and constitutional.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, in this matter, the people have recommending a 10,000 personal. I do see an assaultive crime, but it's 10 years ago. It's a carjacking. This is where he was resisting cuffing, so would have no objection to 10,000 personal.
No objection to the recommendation made.
Thank you. Court will set a bond at 10,000 personal. Next court dates are June 25, probable cause conference, July 2nd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you.
All right. Next man, come on, baby. Step on the black line. Face the camera. Say your full name. Brandon Malik Taylor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Taylor, you've got quite a few tickets where you missed court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Right.
First ticket is SP 115-68531. For the charge of no operator's license on person. And we got P 1299092, no insurance misdemeanor. P 1327407, improper plates, driving unregistered vehicle, driving while license suspended. P 1329148, improper plates, driving while license suspended, no insurance misdemeanor. P 1442920, driving while license suspended, improper plates. P 1568243, driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle and improper plates. P 1568246, no insurance misdemeanor. SP 1568491, improper plates. SP 1568492, no insurance misdemeanor. SP 1568493, driving while license suspended. P 1577171, trespass. P 865583, failure to display valid operator's license. 172689721, no operator's license on person. Misdemeanor counts. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. And one good piece of news I can get you is that you lucked out on your judge. Your next court date will be a pretrial June 30th in front of Judge Ramsey Heath here in 36th District Court. Just you show up to that court date, sir. I'm sure you can work out a good package for all those tickets. Your other matter today is 25058-185, State of Michigan versus Brandon Malik Taylor. Counsel.
Thank you, Steve Vincent for the people.
Record Christina Harris on behalf of Brandon Taylor, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint. Mr. Taylor has been advised of and understands constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, arguably the conversation that this defendant had with the complainant is something we've all had with somebody else. Unfortunately for the defendant, it ended up escalating to the point where this disagreement led to police involvement. And then there was some, apparently some assault here. There was some resistance. The thing that the defendant does have going on for him, and I don't know what side he ended up choosing, he doesn't have any prior convictions. So with all of that being said, at this time, the people are not going to be objecting to a personal bond and leave any other conditions up to you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have no objection to the recommendation made, but I must state that most of us have never had this type of debate that's delineated in the investigative report regarding rappers. So no objection to a personal bond. Taylor will return to all future.
Mr. Taylor, while this case is pending, sir, we're not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear? We'll set bond at 10,000 personal. Next court date is June 26th for probable cause conference, July 2nd. Preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
And what? Next man. Step on the line right there, E. Face the camera. Take a full name, Edmund Booker.
Did you say Edmund Booker?
Sir.
Okay. For Booker, we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir? First ticket is P 1151533 with charges of driver's license expired, And P 1393841, consuming alcohol in public. P 1428711, driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle and improper plates. P 1428713, open alcohol in a motor vehicle as the driver. And 490-486, driving while license suspended and uninsured motor vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I want to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial, June 30th, in front of Judge Yancey here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-058-188, State of Michigan versus Edmund Jerome Booker, counsel.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris on behalf of Edmund Jerome Booker, stand mute, waive the formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. Booker has been advised of an understanding of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Ask to bond.
Your Honor, people are recommending a 20,000 cash surety bond. He does have a prior domestic assault conviction from 2018. I'm not sure who that victim is. That was out of the 46th District Court. But I want to make it clear that obviously you can see that Mr. Booker was in a fight. He has the swelling to show that, but the fight is regarding his brother. This stemmed out of a fight with his brother, allegedly came back to the house while the complainant was sleeping. He woke her up, punching her about the head and body. He then left to continue the fight, returned about 2 hours later, continued assaulting the complainant, Ms. Trimmer, in this, allegedly pulling her hair, punching her about the body, and trying to strangle her. She then fled. Officers did observe bruises on the right side of her face. I did note in the prosecutor's file a prior report, same victim from September of 23. She refused to prosecute at that time. For those reasons, people believe he is a danger to Ms. Trimmer. So I would ask for that 20,000 cash surety and leave whether in the court's discretion whether tether would be advisable, depending on what your bond decision will be. Thank you.
Thank you.
In response, Your Honor, Booker is the life resident of the area. These are allegations. These are not facts. These are allegations that remain for a trier of fact. Mr. Booker is employed at a large automotive supplier. He works 5 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. and many times he works a double shift. He states that he did sustain injuries to his face in a fight, but that fight did not involve Ms. Trimmer. We're asking for a personal bond in this matter. He will not return to the Keystone Street address. He will not have any contact with the complaining witness named in the investigative report. We're asking that he be able to return to work and get medical attention, because he stated that in the DDC they're giving him liquid diet in pain medication for his face. So we're asking for a personal bond. We have no objection to an electronic tether or GPS tether if the court so deems. But we were asking for him to be able to return to work and return to take care of his one child.
So, allegations, correct me if I'm wrong, he gets in a fight with somebody else, and then he goes to this house and starts beating up this complaining witness who was sleeping. That's what I'm getting?
Yeah, allegations. Those are the allegations.
I did say allegations. What? No, I don't know.
And he also states that he lives elsewhere. He has a place to live on the west side.
Okay. All right, sir. While this case is pending, you're to have no contact with Ms. Trimmer. Is that clear to you? And additionally, no contact with the Keystone address. Is that clear to you? And Ms. Coyle, your request was what financially?
I requested a 20,000 cash surety based on the fact that this this is not his first domestic violence conviction. Also, there of the prior report, and this is being it's crazy. He obviously was pretty amped up that he was in a fight, comes beats on her allegedly, and then went back to fight his brother, and then comes back again. And she did have bruises. So based on all this, the prior conviction and allegedly two fights with two other people that evening, people believe he is a danger.
All right, court will set bond at 25,000, 10%. That'll give you a bond redetermination hearing in 2 days on June 18. Further dates are June 24, probable cause conference, July 1st, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jakay here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
All right, bro. Just, all right, like, I got any. Next man. I don't chance to even do nothing. Just tell my hours fucked up, man. Oh, man. I don't to see this girl, man. Black on. Here's your place the camera. Hold that.
Thank you. Correct. Mr. London, we're going to start with some tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. First ticket is P1175912. Charges of driving while license not valid, no insurance misdemeanor, and driving unregistered vehicle. The other ticket is X3675410. No operator's license on person. All misdemeanor charges, maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial July 1st in front of Judge Perkins here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25-058-190, State of Michigan versus Devon Delane London. Counsel.
Mr. Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris on behalf of Devon Delane London, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and Mr. London has been advised of and understands the statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, the people are recommending a 10,000 personal bond, no alcohol. I would recommend as well an alcohol tether, and for the following reasons. This the felon in possession is predicated on a gun charge from 2017. He did a PBT and he blew an 18.8. Now I agree this is a PBT, so accuracy may be off, and that's why not admissible. But the OWI, the lab results are pending. They've sent them to the lab. This just occurred on the 14th. So based on his PBT being so incredibly high at 18.8, I have no objection to the personal bond, but I would be asking for no alcohol during the pendency of the matter. Of course, no guns, but I'd also ask for an alcohol tether. Thank you.
Thank you.
In response, Your Honor, these are non-assaultive crimes that Mr. London is charged with. He works on a full-time basis at a baby formula factory, and he has ties to the community. He has one child that he takes care of, and Mr. London has no history of not returning for any court hearing day. We're asking for a personal bond. We're also asking for no alcohol tether, as he has not been charged with anything involving alcohol. These are felony matters involving weapon or weapons for the allegations are. So for that reason, we're asking for a personal bond, and do not object to the personal bond suggested, but we object to the alcohol tether. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to consume alcohol at any time. Is that clear? Additionally, you're not to possess a firearm at any time. I am going to order an alcohol tether, given the high PBT. As Ms. Coyle indicated, PBTs are not as accurate as the blood draw that's pending, but they do make a foundation for probable cause to arrest on drunk driving. So there will be that, and bond will be $10,000 personal. Next court date is June 25th. Probable cause conference, July 1st. Preliminary exam, both of those are in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Step on the black line, Tedford. Step on the black line, face the camera. Tell your full name.
Nathan Tedford.
Thank you, sir. One moment. Which one?
Take your seat.
This is going to be case 25-058-191, State of Michigan versus Nathan Lemuel Tedford. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Christina Harris on behalf of Nathan Lemuel Tedford, who stands mute based upon the reading of the complaint, and Mr. Tedford has been advised of and understands the statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. And for bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, the people are recommending a 50,000 cash surety, no contact with any minors, including complainant in this matter, who's not a minor now, he's 18 years old. And he was 18 years old at the time of this. And I also would leave it in the court's discretion as whether a tether house arrest would be appropriate based on what bond you're going to give. I do note Mr. Tedford, I do not see a criminal history that I am aware of. He was a teacher and a coach to the complainant. The complainant was a track athlete at the school and a student at the school. This, to me, reading it, Your Honor, the complainant in this matter has a cognitive learning disability. He was 18 years old at the time. That's why the charges are what they are as a CSD4. But this is a clear case of a teacher grooming a young man in order to touch him allegedly for sexual gratification. He falsely presented himself as a chiropractor, that he had the ability to massage the areas for soreness because of injury. And unfortunately, this young man felt he couldn't say anything because he was afraid that he wasn't going to be taken home. He did tell his family, first his girlfriend and then his mother, excuse me, about the incident that occurred at Mr. Tedford's home. And Mr. Tedford did admit to the police he was touching his, I believe, his thigh for massaging it for injury. Your Honor, these are allegations, but they are very serious allegations. They involve a teacher using his position over young men and using his relationship with them as part of grooming. For these reasons, people believe he is a danger not only to Mr. Wallace, but to the community, because there may be other young men out there. And so I'd be asking for that 50,000 cash surety, no contact with any minors, and no contact with Mr. Wallace. Thank you.
Your Honor, in response, Mr. Tedford, these are allegations. Mr. Tedford is innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But in this report, it does state that Mr. Tedford repeatedly asked the complaining witness at 18 years old. So the issue of having no contact with minors. I mean, relevant in this matter, not one bit, number one. Number two, Mr. Tedford has a master's degree in education. He is employed by a large educational corporation. Been so employed for 12 years. He has no pending cases, no prior arrest record, no contact with the criminal justice system. We're asking for a personal bond. This is a matter that is criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree, which is a maximum 2-year high court misdemeanor crime. Mr. Tedford with a master's degree and significant years of employment knows and understands how to come back for a court hearing date and how to be on time. He understands he won't have any contact with this alleged complaining witness. We're asking for a personal bond, Your Honor. And personal bond, $25,000 personal should be reasonable in this matter. And he definitely won't have any contact with the complaining witness. Thank you. Oh, and not having contact with minors could possibly impact Mr. Tedford's employment.
So that was my next question for you. Is the school year out now? He's shaking his head, yes.
Okay, I can't be certain because I was going to say that the school year may be out, but I know a lot of educators that educate during the summer.
Oh, Mr. Tedford won't be one of them. While this case is pending, sir, no contact with the complaining witness, no contact with any minors. And if that prevents you from teaching summer school, so be it. Yeah, this is, these allegations are very concerning. The court recognizes that they are mere allegations at this point, but they are very concerning to this court. Court's going to set bond at $30,000 cash or surety. I'll give you a bond redetermination date of June 18 in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are June 26 probable cause conference and July 3rd preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Takei here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside. All right, what's your name?
Ross.
Thank you. This case 25-058-189, State of Michigan versus Javon Darnell Ross. Counsel.
Magistrate Stevenson for the people.
For the record, Christina Harris on behalf of Javon Darnell Ross, who stands to waive the full reading of the complaint. And Mr. Ross has been advised of and understands his statutory and constitutional rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as defined.
Magistrate, not objecting to a personal, it's non-assaultive. However, we do feel as though the defendant poses a danger. He's driving on a revoked license with a serious amount of controlled substances, including that 31 grams of fentanyl. That's not to mention the 45+ grams of crack and all of the pills that he had. Because we feel he's a danger, we're asking for the tether as well as house arrest. But again, we're not objecting to a personal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to respond. Mr. Ross has no history of not appearing for court hearings. This is a non-assaultive matter, and the allegation of being in possession of controlled substances alone and in and of itself, and not protecting the community by putting a tether on Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross has, as indicated before, he has a wife and 3 children. He's a life resident of the area. He is able to come for all court hearings, and he has given his assurance that he will come for all court hearings. And so we're asking for the personal bond, but without a tether, because it's not necessary. It's our submission. Thank you.
Is he working?
He broke his foot, and before he worked, he did work on a full-time basis. But now he's in recovery from his broken foot and not working right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, sir, while this case is pending, you were not to use or possess any illegal controlled substances. No driving without a valid license. You will have a GPS tether or house arrest. And bond will be set at $10,000 personal. Next court date, June 22nd, probable cause conference. July 3rd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
On the black line. Face the camera. Say your full name.
Morning, good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Lawrence Herndon Jr.
Afternoon. Did you say Lawrence Herndon? Thank you. Mr. Herndon, we're going to start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you missed those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, court will provide one for you. You understand those rights? Okay. Ticket P823241 with charges of driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle, and no insurance misdemeanor. Ticket P901151, improper plates, and U44702918, remaining in park after closing. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial, July 1st, in front of Judge Millhouse here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 25058-177, State of Michigan versus Lawrence Herndon Jr. Counsel.
Thank you. Steve Vincent for the people.
Judge Miguel Rico on behalf of Mr. Herndon, P88379. Judge, my client advises constitutional rights, waives upon reading the complaint, stands mute, requests a not guilty plea be entered on his behalf as to all counts.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond plea.
Magistrate, we're asking for 150,000 cash or surety here. Allegedly, the defendant ends up shooting another person at close range. That person ended up sustaining gunshot wounds. We have 2 witnesses here. We also have a victim who ended up describing an individual that matched the defendant's description. Then we have the admission of this defendant. Respectfully, the way it's being charged and what he allegedly did, we find him to be a danger. We're asking for that cash bond.
Thank you.
Judge, on behalf of Mr. Herndon, He is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as to all of these counts. Judge, any amount of bond in this matter would be unaffordable for my client. He is a lifelong resident of the state of Michigan, has 4 children, is self-employed through a landscaping job that he conducts daily. He indicated to me that all he does, all he wants to do is take care of his family, go to work. Judge, any amount of bond is unaffordable on the matter. I would request a reasonable amount of bond so that Mr. Herndon were even able to get assistance from any family members. It would be within reason, and if not, I'd be requesting a redetermination date. This defense has no objection to any modernization and the final requirements that this court may deem fit. But other than that, Judge, it would be very discretion.
Is your client working?
My client is self-employed, per his indication as a landscaper.
I'm harassing, man. I told you it wasn't. I'm gonna kill
All right, sir, while this case is pending, you're to have no contact with the complaining witness. You're not to possess a firearm at any time, and should you post bond, you'll be on a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Is all of that clear to you?
6 a.m. That's fine.
Court does find the allegations are such that the defendant severe risk of harm to the community. Court will set bond at $150,000 cash or surety. I'll give you a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, June 18, in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are June 26th, probable cause conference, and July 2nd, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor. All of that's here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Come on, Antonio.
On that line, say your name. I have
Antonio Davis.
Thank you, sir. I'll be right with you. Case 25-058-187, State of Michigan versus Antonio Damascus Davis. Counsel.
Thank you, Steve Vincent for the people.
Judge Miguel, brief on behalf of Mr. Davis. Judge, my client's been advised his constitutional rights, ways of formulating complaints, stands view, requesting not guilty plea be entered on his behalf as to all counts.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, here we're asking for a 50,000 cash of surety with the tether. In addition to the allegations and the charges being that armed robbery FA DV second, this defendant has an ongoing case. He has a case in RNO. It was bound over by Judge Marlena Taylor. I have May 1st of 25. It's ongoing. There's a final conference that's scheduled with the Honorable Judge Baker Robinson at the end of this month. And I have priors. I have that aggravated DV and the 19 and 21 disorderly. But I mean, the allegations are pretty serious here. Yeah, allegedly, we have a defendant using a running saw, putting it to the mother of a child that he shares in common with that individual, putting it up to her face. telling her that allegedly he's going to hurt her before he ends up taking off with her belongings. So respectfully, Judge, with everything, with the charges, allegations, history, ongoing cases, we do feel as though the defendant's a danger. We're asking for that cash with monitorization.
Thanks.
Judge, defense would object to the cash bond. We'd be requesting a personal bond on the matter. Judge, as the people have stated some information, the recitation is included in the incident report. Unfortunately for defense, oftentimes all we have is the incident report to go off of. So when he said, she said, we're only comparing he said. My client does indicate to me that as far as the count 2 of armed robbery, which carries the most severe of all the penalties that we see in front of us today, that his home is the home in which the items were allegedly taken out of, paying credence to the fact that these items might have been his, not to even litigate the facts of them themselves. In addition to that, Judge, we do have the misdemeanor domestic violence and the assault with a dangerous weapon, both on the same individual. I discussed with my client that he cannot return back to that address, although it is his legal address, since the complaining witness resides there. He's indicated to me that he has 2 addresses he can stay at. He can stay at his uncle's house in Detroit, or he can stay at his cousin's house in Warren. So no contact would suffice for the protection of the complaining witness. As far as the general public as a whole, I don't find any danger there. This seems to be an incident between 2 related individuals. And then as far as flight risk history, my client's indicated to me that he hasn't had any flight risk from court appearances or hearings. The state has mentioned something that's new to me, which is his pending case. And it appears that he seems to be going to those hearings since he's not in KP status. So he does have an understanding of how court works and to appear to court. I'll be requesting a personal bond. We have no objection to any monetization requirements that this court is able to narrowly tailor while still reaching their objectives and keeping the client's liberty at hand. Thank you, Judge.
Magistrate, oh, I'm sorry.
Is your client working?
Judge, he indicates to me he's on disability. He's not working at the moment.
Thank you. Mr. Vincent?
And I apologize about that, but it was only because the defense counsel said it and emphasized it. There's capious history in the ongoing case that he has for the R&O with the personal bond.
Thank you. All right, sir, while this case is pending, you are not possessed of firearm, any other dangerous weapon, particularly saws and other power tools. You have no contact with Ms. Howard, no contact with the Shield Street address. Should you post bond, you will be on a GPS tether under house arrest to some other address. Court does find the allegations disturbing and such that the defendant poses a threat to the complaining witness. Court will set bond at $50,000 cash or surety. That'll give you a bond redetermination hearing in 2 days' time on June 18th in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are probable cause conference on June 25th and preliminary exam on July 1st. Both of those are in front of Judge Jakay here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Your Honor, I believe that's all the men. We'll meet you on the female side.
Thanks.
Okay. Good to see you.
See you.
Female, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All right. Parking committee. Full name for themselves.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jayla Harkins Bentley.
Thank you. And this is case 25-058-178, State of Michigan versus Jayla Makia Harkins Bentley. Counsel.
Lisa Boyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
And
there he is.
And counsel, we've just called the Harkins Bentley case. Need your appearance, please.
Judge Miguel Brico, P88379, on behalf of Ms. Harkins Bentley. Judge, my client's been advised of their constitutional rights, waives the formal reading of the complaint, stands mute, requests a not guilty plea be entered on their behalf.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, the people in this matter are asking for a 10,000 cash surety, and hoping the court would entertain that. I know it's non-assaultive reading on what she is charged with, but the situation here is that she allegedly aimed a shotgun at the complainant and threatened to kill him. They were, I believe, high school friends. He refused to prosecute. The gun was recovered. She has an assaultive background. She has a 2019 unarmed robbery, which she did 3 to 15, a 2019 armed robbery, 3 counts, in which she received a 4 to 30 sentence. She just got off parole in May 20th of 24. Your Honor, this is very assaultive, and people are looking for that high. I know it's a non-assaultive charge, and the complainant doesn't want to go forward, but I do see a recent assaultive background, and I do see that the gun was recovered in this matter. She's not supposed to have a weapon. The allegations are very serious, so I'm asking for that 10,000 cash surety. The court sees otherwise. I'm also asking for a tether if this court is going to, excuse me, give a 10% or a personal. I believe she presents not only danger to Randall Dix, but also a danger to the community, Your Honor. Thank you.
Judge, on behalf of Ms. Harkins Bentley, we would object to any amount of monetary bond. Any amount of monetary bond would be unaffordable for my client. Judge, we're here today merely on the possession only charges. I understand that there are statements and allegations in the incident report in which the person making the most serious of those allegations, that being an assaultive one, is someone that's not willing to partake in the prosecution of this matter. So we're only facing with the ones that we're here for, which are those possessionary, non-assaultive charges. In addition to that, Judge, my client has a job. She works for an automotive parts plant. She's also a part of a youth organization in the city called Detroit Heals Youth Organization. I understand that this court has 2 objectives in determining if they should set a personal bond, one of which being flight risk and one of which being harm to the public. Judge, I don't think that there is any specific harm to the general public. It appears that these are related individuals that stemmed this entire charge, one of which individual is not even a complaining witness on this matter. So I would request a personal bond on the matter. No objection to any monetization requirements that this court deems fit. Just keeping in mind that she does work, does have a job, does volunteer at this youth organization, is a lifelong resident of the state of Michigan, gave us an address in which she resides with a friend.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, I only did, oh, I did put it in for 4.
All right, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm, any other dangerous weapon. You have no contact with Mr. Dix, no contact with the Hayden Street address. Is all of that clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Court will set bond at $25,000 personal.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next court dates are probable cause conference, June 25 and July 2nd for preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you. You can step aside.
Thank you. I go home today?
Unless you have any other holds from somewhere else, but as far as this case is concerned, you got a personal.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name, please?
Shaquanda Danielle Taylor.
Thank you. This case 25-058-193, State of Michigan versus Shaquanda Danielle Tankersley, counsel.
Thank you, Steve Vincent, for the people.
Judge Miguel Abrico, on behalf of Ms. Tankersley, PA 8379. Judge, my client's been advised of her constitutional rights, waives a form of reading the complaint, stands mute, requesting not guilty plea be entered on her behalf.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, we're asking for a 75,000 cash or surety bond here. Allegedly, the defendant ended up shooting at a repo driver multiple times in a residential area. For that repo driver lawfully repossessing her husband's vehicle. There were multiple shots that apparently this defendant ended up firing. Police in the area actually had to fire at this defendant, apparently striking her as a direct result of the actions that she was partaking in, dangerous actions. Respectfully, we're asking for the cash bond, and this is a CPL holder. We're asking for a cash bond.
Thank you.
Judge, defense would object to any cash bond on the matter. Any amount of bond would be unaffordable for my client. Judge, Ms. Tankersley is a lifelong resident of the state of Michigan, lives at home with her husband and her 2 children, works for Chrysler, has worked for Chrysler for the past 13 years, indicates to my office that she has no assault of prior criminal history. She indicates to me that the only criminal history she believes she has was a 2018 case on a marijuana minor possession case. Judge, she's not a career criminal. She's not somebody that is in front of this court often. This is an incident that happened between strangers. The person that she was involved with during this incident is not related at all. Their safety would be accomplished by no contact order. I don't believe that the safety of the general public is at large either, Judge. I think that this is a situation that may have went out of hand, and Ms. Tankersley is in front of us today, and she's been through some stuff, and she's been shot. And if we read the report, she had over 40 bullets shot her way by the police. Over 40 bullets. For her to even be here at this arraignment is a blessing, Judge. I don't believe that she is a flight risk. I don't believe that she has an extensive criminal history that would pose an assaultive or dangerous risk to the public. I would be requesting a personal bond and monetization as this court deems fit, and perhaps to comply with some of the work hours that she does have at work. But of course, this court order takes precedent over that, Judge. That would be my request today.
So, the allegations here are quite a bit. She sees someone taking her husband's truck on the back of a flatbed, allegedly, of course, follows that vehicle down the road on foot with her gun, then starts shooting at the repo driver, doesn't hit him, thankfully. But that means those bullets went somewhere. And then she herself is then shot at by 4 different police officers, and several of those bullets did hit her. As you said, she's lucky to be alive today. As a CPL holder, she should know that you cannot use lethal force to protect property. certainly following someone down the street who was driving away would not have posed a risk of death or great bodily harm to this defendant. So, while this case is pending, ma'am, you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Total set bond at $55,000 cash or surety. There'll be a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, June 18, in front of Chief Judge McConico. Probable cause conference, June 25, and preliminary exam, July Conoco. Probable cause conference, June 25.